Hey, welcome to another episode of Ask Shorty, where I answer your scratch and life questions. Hey Tam, you asked, you're always creating. How do you keep coming up with fresh and interesting content regularly? How far do you plan ahead? Great question. My secret for creating is just purely and simply to create. So I try not to think about it too far in advance. I'll just go to the decks, put on a beat and start playing around. Play is very important for what I do. I don't always have ideas beforehand. I'm never quite sure where it's going to go. But if I sit around waiting for inspiration, I could be there for quite a long time. So I kind of get into action, get on the deck, start scratching, and then I find that ideas come to me. So I'm not trying to make it interesting and fresh. Obviously I want it to be, but it's more just that's the result of my process. So I just say, focus on process. Actually, in any creative field, just show up, start doing something, and you'll probably be surprised with what happens. In terms of planning, I do plan my tutorials for schoolofscratch.com ahead, so I've kind of got like a little structure I want to work through, but also I like to be spontaneous and leave room for just crazy ideas like the bathtub idea. That was just one Saturday or Sunday, I think, when I just decided to try something new. So I think it's being open to all possibilities, not limiting yourself and not worrying about what anyone else thinks. Just have a go, create something, and also put it out there, because you never know what's going to happen when someone sees what you do. Hope that helps. Keep creating. This one's possibly the best question ever, from Diego, who wants to know, do you want to be my girlfriend? I'll let you play on my turntables, and in brackets, I don't let anyone do that. Diego, hey, thank you. I'm very flattered by the offer. Seeing as though I've never met you, I'm going to say no right now. No hard feelings, but yeah, keep scratching. Sam Abdallah KW wants to know, have you noticed a higher resolution in Traktor as opposed to scratching with Serato? I mean the responsiveness. Also, can you do a tutorial for setting up Serato properly? I was told it has to be set up and calibrated each time you play. I ask this because I've had latency issues with Serato with fine-tuning scratches. Honestly, I've never used Traktor, and what I do know about it is the time code is a higher resolution. So technically and in theory, and from what I've heard from other people, is that you can kind of get a little bit more control over the finer record movements. DJ Cuba actually has a really cool video with the comparison, and although there's not much in it, he did, I think, say that Traktor does give you a little bit more control. In terms of setting up Serato, I'll put some links in the notes below just to kind of get you started and show you how you can do that. There's definitely a load of information on the Serato website for you to check out. Jamil the DJ asks, where's a good place to find sweet vocal scratches? I love the and fresh sound, but I have a hard time finding cool words to scratch with. I'm just going to fire through some records that I think have really cool samples on, and the first one is Combinations from the Masters. Just talked about this recently. That's got some really cool ones on. Then let's see, Enter the Scratch Game 1. You might guess what the next one is. Enter the Scratch Game 2. And finally, no, that's number 1. Didn't put them in order. Enter the Scratch Game 3. So they've got some really cool samples on. Other than that, if you can find some hip-hop acapellas, you'll find some quite cool vocal samples on there. And it's just a case of going through and finding what's going to work for you and what you like the look of. Oh, there's one more. I'll just go get it. I just thought of 2 more. Scratch Library, you can see. This one's from A to M, so it's kind of in alphabetical order. And then the second one in the series is from N to Z. And they're just absolutely full of samples. You can find some really cool ones on there. I'm not sure where you can order it from, but if you dig around on the internet, you might be able to find it. Jamil also wants to know when I'm going to visit Winnipeg. So yeah, I'd love to go. Let's make it happen. One of my very good DJ friends, DJ Brace from the Fresher Thans, used to live there. So kind of a little bit familiar with it. So yeah, I'd love to visit. That would be cool. That's it for this episode of Ask Shorty. If you've got a question, you can email it to hello@schoolofscratch.com, or if you want to get on social media, you can record me a video or write out a question and tag it with hashtag AskShorty, and I'll be sure to check it on Instagram, Facebook or Twitter. If you'd like to learn more about how I can help you learn how to scratch, head on over to schoolofscratch.com and I'll send you some free tutorials to get you started. Happy scratching!